Hello everyone and welcome to my morning report chart analysis videos on Wednesday the 11th of January with me, which pair market analyst at Handtech Markets. We've got a relatively settled open at the moment on these European markets, although you're starting to see a bit of dollar strength coming back in and a bit of direction, you could argue, with that. Let's just show you the dollar strength on this trade-weighted dollar that's started to pick up again as the European session has sort of gathered legs. The sterling weakness has been one of the main drivers of that, but also euro and yen have been weaker against the dollar. You've sort of got a relatively stable set of US Treasury yields on the 2s and the 10s, sort of stabilising on the 2s-10 spread. But certainly the dollar has started to pick up as sterling weakness has kicked through. You've got an interesting decline on the oil prices coming as just a few near-term questions are coming through on supplies and the sort of expectation of OPEC's ability to deliver on these production cuts. But the sort of near-term breakdown on oil has sort of stabilised slightly in this sort of support band between $50 up towards $52. So it's interesting that we're sort of still above these old levels that were sort of breakout levels, you could argue, that we returned back to. So you're still on that. You haven't broken down yet on oil, and you've got the dollar, which has started to pick up again. So yeah, that's basically what we're looking at, and equity markets sort of relatively flat around the and mixed and cautious, because basically we've got this press conference with Donald Trump today, which could give you a little bit of direction. But I think generally speaking, markets are fairly sort of settled and consolidating in front of his inauguration. Probably now on the that we're going to see relatively lacking in direction in the markets until the next Friday, which is his inauguration day. So I think if you look on euro dollar, for example, there's not a great deal of direction. Dollar yen also not a massive amount of direction, even though you're sort of seeing a little bit of dollar strength today. Now the breakdown in sterling is a key issue that I'll be focusing on, and it'll be interesting to see whether that continues. Now in terms of what we're looking at for today, we've had the UK industrial production, which was better than expected actually, but generally sterling has been sold into despite that. But the main focus, I suppose, now is going to be these EIA crude oil inventories. 1.8 million barrels of build after the 7 million barrels drawdown last week. But also don't forget to focus on the distillates and gasoline stocks as well. They have an impact, and they can have a say in the direction of the oil price in the wake of that report. So both, or all three actually, expected to have a build of around about, say, 2 million barrels today. So my chart of the day is the dollar CAD. Now this is an interesting chart because dollar CAD has retreated back towards a key long-term trend line, which one more, no. Okay, sort of not really playing ball, is it? But anyway, this key blue long-term trend line, which has been tested numerous times and held through these higher lows in the last sort of 8 months or so. And we're back towards that now. We're also back towards this 144-day moving average, which has been the basis of resistance through July, August, and then since September has been the basis of support. And we're basically back at that now, 131.90. So you're consolidating in the last few days as the market has basically sort of moved sideways in about 100 pips of band, really, between sort of if you get the crosshair on it, it's not working unfortunately, but 31.75 up towards 32.75 generally speaking is this sort of 100 pip band that we're looking at, and that is sort of around about where we're sort of seeing the consolidation. So a break either way of that will be the interesting move. Now on the hourly chart you can see this sort of 100 pip band better, and you can see the consolidation better. You've got the between 40 and 60 on the hourly RSI. You've got the MACD lines basically flat, the stochastics sort of oscillating between 20 and 80. That is very neutral. So we're still looking for direction on this dollar CAD chart, and I think a break either way will drive the next direction. But for now we're staying sideways, but it is interesting that this sideways consolidation is happening right on this uptrend. So I'll be leaving you with that thought, and I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you.